Guys, I'm going to share with you my Sunday lineup for week 3. Today's Thursday, so we still have a few days before the games actually begin. I hate making a video, premature, but I'll let you know where my thoughts are right now. And these picks are really contingent on a few injuries. Yeah, a few injuries. So try to check back in case I do change the lineup. I'll let you guys know as soon as I can. But all right, let's just check up on our Thursday night lineup. Look first right there. All right. So this lineup actually did better than I thought I was going to do. Well, the fourth quarter, a lot of stuff happened where we got a bunch of points. So right now, Kirk Cousins, Pierre Garcon, Jordan Reed, and Josh Brown, they all needed to get us about 43 points to do their job. And we see up here with these 51 points is that they did their job. And taking a low-cost QB, low-cost wide receiver, low-cost tight end, that really let us stack other positions. So all we need them to do is just get us the points that they need us to get us, and they all did. Well, I mean, I guess Garcon didn't, but he was almost there. So yeah, this lineup is looking pretty good. We still have Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders. See how this team is stacked at these positions. So this team is looking pretty good, and someone would really have to mess it up. But I don't want to jinx anything. But we'll just look to the future, and so that team's doing pretty good. Now let's go to the Sunday lineup. Okay. Player percentage projections. Brady's going to be about 30% owned. So you really have to think long and hard whether you want Brady on your team. I can't make that decision for you, but I'm going to show you where my head is at right now. Okay, this is contingent on Jay Cutler not being able to play. Okay? Jimmy Clausen is the cheapest starting QB, coming in at 5,300. I don't expect him to do very good, but I'm hoping he can get us the 10 points that he needs to get us. By taking Jimmy Clausen, we can stack up a different position. And I kind of taking Jimmy Clausen, we kind of have to take his his handcuff in a way. The Seattle Seahawks. Now, let me explain this. So say Jimmy Clausen actually has a good game. Say he gets us 15, 20 points, and the Seahawks defense aren't able to stop him. Well, that means he's going to do good. The defense isn't going to do too well, and we're fine with that. But say he doesn't do good, and say he only gets about 7 points. Well, that could probably mean he threw an interception or two or fumbled the ball, and that means the Seahawks defense is going to score us points. So if he gets us 7 points, you expect the Seahawks to get us maybe 15 points, and those will balance out. So I'm expecting about 20 points from both of these guys. So it's kind of cool how if Jimmy Clausen doesn't do good, that almost guarantees that the Seahawks are going to do well. But if the Seahawks don't do well, it probably means it's because Jimmy Clausen actually had a decent game. So I really would only suggest taking Jimmy Clausen if you're going to take the Seattle Seahawks as your defense. So yeah, technically having them both on your team does kind of decrease the actual points that you're going to get out of them. So so what it does is actually lowers our ceiling, but increases our floor, lowering risk for the floor, but I'm decreasing the amount of ceiling that we have. But we don't care about ceiling; we just care about floor. So taking the Seahawks with Jimmy Clausen is raising that floor. Expect 20 points from both of these players, or the defense and Clausen combined. All right, let me show you a running back. Le'Veon Bell. I'm gonna have a rule that to not take players who are just coming back from a disappearance from the game, 'cause sometimes this leads to, we don't know how hard he's been conditioning. We don't know how ready he is to be back in the NFL. So I like to let players cool off. But let's see, where is he? He's gonna have a 12%, about 12% ownership. It might go up a little bit. We see Lynch, Lewis, and Latavius Murray actually has a decently high ownership. But I don't like Lynch. He's screwed me too much this season. Everyone's saying he's bound to have a breakout game, but yeah, well, I'll let him have a breakout game, and then I'll decide if I want him on my team or not. I don't trust Lynch. And Lewis, well, I do want to take Lewis, Dion Lewis, but I'll be breaking the #1 golden rule with fantasy football. That's don't take a Patriots running back. You cannot trust a Patriots running back. So I can't take him just because of that. But he scored 20 points last week and 40 points the week before. So he's looking like he's gonna do about that. This is a good matchup for him. But we just don't know how many touches he's gonna get. The Patriots have a tendency to go really hard with one running back one game and then just go really hard with another running back the next game, a la Jonas Gray scoring 40 points that one week last year. But I can't take a Patriots back unless we see Dion Lewis really contributing for over a month's period. Then I will decide at that point to make a decision on whether we want him or not. All right, a running back to let me just say let me bring him up. I don't even know how to say his name. Bilal Powell. You might look at him and you might not even recognize who he is. Because honestly, I don't really know who he is. But what I do know is that last week he got 16 touches. He got 12 carries and 4 receptions. That's 16 touches. The week before he got 14 touches. And this is at a player who's at the bottom of the barrel in pricing. Now let me just take a second and compare him to another running back. Okay, so he had 16 touches. Now let's look at this. Marshawn Lynch had 15 plus 3, 18 touches last game. That's 6 more touches than Bilal, and he's at $8,700. Take someone else. Take Mark Ingram. Come on. He had 16 plus 3, 19 touches. So when you look at that, and then you look at Bilal at 16 touches, he looks pretty appetizing at this price. But not only that, look at this. Christopher Ivory probably will not be playing. Trending towards a game time decision. And Christopher Ivory has said to the public that he does not feel comfortable right now. He didn't practice Thursday. He didn't practice yesterday. And so he probably won't even be playing. So Bilal could actually have about 20 carries and 4 or 5 receptions. So when you think of that, you gotta have him on your team. He's like the ultimate sleeper play this week. I haven't heard anyone really talk about him. So keep it on the hush hush. All right. I said hush hush. All right, Edelman. He's a wide receiver 1. The Patriots looked really good last week. And Brady was doing whatever he wanted to do, and he was getting it done effortlessly. And when that happens, you know, look at this. Wow, he duplicated it. 11 receptions for 97 yards. First week, 11 receptions for 97 yards. And you add 2 touchdowns to last week, and you get almost 30 points. I don't see him stopping. They're facing the Jaguars, which had one of the worst defense last year, and they're not much better this year. I got to take Edelman. Take him. Don't even think twice. Who I also like is I like Landry, but I just can't fit him. Maybe I will be able to fit him, but he's very consistent in his production. So, the reason I'm not taking Landry is that I'm taking Brandon Marshall's. So the Jets played on Monday. The Jets played on Monday, so his actual price point didn't go up or down. And if you look at the game on Monday, he had a very good game, scoring about 20 points. So, I mean, that alone is reason to have him in the team. But, look, Eric Decker, he might not play. And if he does play, he missed the second straight practice. So, he might not play. And if he does play, he's hurt. So, that boosts Brandon Marshall. That's going to boost his reception total, or at least his targets. So he's in line to have a good game. But not only that, look at his ownership. Brandon Marshall is at almost 20%. He's going to be really high ownership. I didn't show you Edelman, but Edelman's really high ownership too. So I'm not betting against Edelman. I'm having him on my team. I'm having Marshall on the team too. I'd like Antonio Brown on our team, but we can't really fit him. And we have Le'Veon Bell, so we're still getting our skin in that game. Wide receiver 3. Larry Fitzgerald. He's older now. But he's had 2 really good games. Really good games. I expect him to have a decent game. But look at, he's going to be about 20% ownership, maybe a little bit higher. So, if he doesn't perform that great, we're not totally screwed. Tight end, Gronk. I don't even need to say anything. It's Gronk. If you can fit him on your team, get him on your team. So, you might look at this and think it's a little weird getting Gostkowski, because if he scores, that means Gronk and Julian aren't scoring. But it's kind of the similar concept with the Seattle Seahawks and Jimmy Clausen. If the Seahawks are going to do good, Clausen's not going to do good. Clausen's going to do good, the Seahawks aren't going to do good. Did I say he was good? So what that does is it increases our floor and lowers our ceiling, which is what we want to do. We always want to be raising our floor. Our floor is the lowest amount of points that we should get. So by having Gostkowski on our team, it raises our floor, but at the same time it does cap our ceiling. Because if Gostkowski does really good and say he kicks 5-6 field goals, that means those are all missed opportunities for Edelman and Gronk. But since they're missed opportunities for them, so we still get the points. But if Gronk and Edelman do really good and Brady scores on most possessions down in the red zone, that probably means Gostkowski's not going to score us many points. But at that point, we don't even care, because that means these guys are getting touchdowns. So it raises our floor, the minimum that we should be getting, but lowers our ceiling, because if Gostkowski there's a correlation between his fantasy value and these guys' fantasy value. There's actually a negative correlation. As Gostkowski's fantasy value goes up, we see Gronk and Edelman's fantasy go down. But we're fine with that because it raises our floor. So this is what my lineup is right now. Right now, of this speaking, it might change. Monitor Jay Cutler's status. Monitor Christopher Ivory's status. And, monitor Eric Decker's status. But right now, I really like this lineup. You know, a weak spot is Jimmy Clausen, but I'm okay with that. You know, you just hope for him to get. QBs have the lowest risk out of all positions, just because you know every single play they have an opportunity to score points. They have a greater opportunity to score points. Sorry, than you know these other positions. So he has a higher floor. QBs in general have a higher floor. So that's why I'm okay with punting. You know, in the QB. All right, let me get this done because I'm hitting the time. All right, so you know this is it. Look at it. You know, do what you want with it. I feel comfortable with this lineup at this point, but just monitor those injuries. All right, thanks, you guys.